Hello, my name is Bryce Grimes, and in today's videos for business communication, I will discuss the legalities of contracts. Contracts play a giant role in businesses every day in every industry. Whether or not contracts are legal, however, is an important matter that needs to be addressed. In my presentation, I will include the elements that make a contract valid, contract enforceability, what makes a contract illegal, and the statute of frauds. Here's my table of contents that shows what I'll be talking about today. So what is a contract? A contract is a promise for the breach of which a remedy is provided by the law. They can be both written and spoken, non-written. Contracts are generally governed by common law, which varies from state to state. As a result, contracts for the sale of goods are governed by Article 2 of the UCC, Uniform Commercial Code. The objective theory of contracts judges the terms of a contract at a reasonable person standard. Objective facts include what a party said while entering the contract, how the party acted or appeared, and the circumstances surrounding a transaction as well. Next, there are 4 elements required for a contract to be valid. First, there's an agreement that includes an offer and acceptance. Second is consideration, meaning something that holds value is either received or promised. Third, a contract must have capacity, where both parties are competent and able to make their own decision when entering a contract. The final element is legality. A contract's purpose must be legal and follow the law. I will now discuss contract enforceability. A valid contract contains the 4 requirements of a contract that I discussed: agreement, consideration, capacity, and legality. A voidable contract is valid, but one or more parties are able to void the contract. A contract with a minor is an example of a voidable contract, and the minor can disaffirm at their choice. An unenforceable contract is a valid contract that cannot be enforced due to a defense or statute. A void contract, on the other hand, is never a valid contract. Examples include making contracts while gambling, or if court determines a contract was made with a mentally incompetent person. Contracts cannot be made in the following situations and would become illegal: contracts against public policy that violate antitrust statutes and unreasonable covenants, contracts for competing in the sale of ongoing business or employment contracts, contracts for committing a crime, including hiring a hitman, and contracts involving usury, which is lending money at unreasonably high rates of interest. Finally, the statute of frauds was developed in 17th century England to prevent hiring third-party witnesses, to prevent fraud on courts, and to regulate written contracts. Examples of contracts that must be in writing to be legal and enforceable include prenuptial agreements for pre-marriage, contracts for the sale of land, surety and guarantee contracts for co-signing loans, contracts for the sale of goods over $500, and contracts that cannot be performed within 1 year. The United States is one of the few countries that still has a statute of frauds for contracts. I've included a visual study I will discuss in a minute, and here is my works cited page for references on this project. In conclusion, I have discussed the legalities of contracts, the elements that make a contract valid, contract enforceability, what makes a contract legal, and the statute of frauds. According to a study at Deloitte, the largest accounting firm in the world, 91% of people sign legal and conditional contracts without giving them a thorough glance. We need to be aware of terms in a deal and be able to determine if a contract is legal and ethical before making agreements. My name is Bryce, and I hope everyone learned something new in my presentation.